I want to start that over because it's just like bam right into it. Okay. Just cover all of those topics. Okay. Every time I go to film, my dogs bark. It's like they know I'm up here or something. How to handle college parties and kind of give you guys a little bit of advice for when you're... This isn't making sense. Hey guys, so today I am filming another episode of my Girls Guide series. I haven't filmed one in like almost a year, and you guys said that you wanted me to bring that series back, so I have been thinking of some different ideas for you, and this one I think is definitely an untouched subject, or at least it seems to be. So I wanted to talk to you guys about college party etiquette and how you can go to a college party, and this is more geared towards if you're a girl, but if you go to a college party, how to stay safe, how to dress, how to act, and how to get yourself out of those sticky situations, and just some kind of dogs, really. So there are some basic rules when going to a college party that I think are kind of just generic. You probably assume them, but I'll go over them just in case you might not know them. One is when you are thinking about going to a party, if you're on campus, and by the way, just a disclaimer, I am not a college student on a campus. I do online school, but I have a college very close to my home, and I go down there sometimes to hang out with my friends who are there, so I still feel like I have some kind of insight on this. And I kind of have a different perspective on it too because I don't live there, so I think it might help you guys. So the basics, before you go to a party, you probably should find out where it is and where it is in terms of your house or wherever you're staying that night. And if it's not somebody that you know, you probably want to make sure you have a ride home because you don't want to like lay on the floor of someone's apartment that you don't know. It's just gross. Bad things can happen. I always make sure that my friends like know where they're going, they have a way to get home, and I'm very like mom like in that sense. Like I'm always like, okay, do you know how you're getting home? Do you know how you're getting home? Because I'm not leaving you until you know how you're getting home. Have your ID with you. It's stupid to leave your ID. Like if something happens to you and you don't have your ID, I mean, come on, no brainer. Your phone and a charger, I recommend getting a like a portable charger, and those things can run you anywhere from like 10 to like 40 bucks. So get yourself one because they're really handy. You don't want to be like trying to call a cab and your phone dies or you lose a friend. And that's the other thing is if you get separated from your friend and you need to talk to them, and don't put your phone down. Just like don't do it. Or your drink. Yeah, ever. Don't do that. Can I tell you how many times I have gone down to college town and seen girls in 40-degree weather with their butts hanging out and their shoes this high, and it's like, where's your jacket and where's your mother? Because seriously, like put some clothes on. You don't need to have your booty out in the world to see. Like you can wear sexy clothes and not have your butt out. It's possible, I promise. Okay? Your outfit shouldn't say like, hey, guess what else is under here, you know, because you can pretty much see it already, but I'm just gonna let you have a little bit more like to figure out. No, not cute. It's really not. Because guys look at that as like the tonight, and then if you look attractive and sexy and classy, that's like, wow, she's gorgeous and that's somebody who I could be with. You know what I mean? You're giving off something different. And you can still look cute, you know? You can wear jeans that aren't suffocating your butt. Let's be honest, I've seen some pretty tight pants at these parties. You can wear tops that cover things up and are still attractive. Like, it's possible, I promise. The clothes are out there. You just have to buy your size. You're a medium and you're buying extra small. And you know what is like out for the world. Your mama didn't raise you that way, okay? You know when you're driving down the road and you're passing a party and you see all the people walking down the street, and then there's that girl and she's tripping and not tripping on drugs, I mean she might be, but like she's tripping over her feet and her heels are getting broken, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Like, oh my gosh. Have some flats with you. I recommend those little fold-up flats. I'm going to have links in the down bar to where you can get some of the stuff that I'm talking about, but those flats are really helpful because like if you have to walk a long way to your dorm or your car or whatever and the weather's crappy and your feet hurt and you got blisters and your toes are falling off, maybe your toes aren't falling off, but like you need some flats. Bring some band-aids. You just never know when those blisters are going to start bleeding or you fall or your friend falls and then yeah. And gum is good because then if people are drinking and you've got, you know, alcohol and the gross, talking to people like this close to your face, parties and you're cramming through the door, ugh, have some gum. That way you can give it to other people too because you can be like, oh hey, you need some gum. Do not go to parties alone. Like that's just, you should always have somebody you're going with. Especially if you're a girl, you should at least have 2 other people with you. And a rule that I had and that really helped us was sometimes we would get separated from our friends if we had a big group. And you know, it's good to tell people maybe who are not going to a party that you're going somewhere, because God forbid something happens, and this is a serious note, I know I was kind of joking around in the beginning, but serious note here, if you're going to a party, things happen in this world. The world is not that like safe anymore and things happen all the time. You hear about it in the news. I don't need to tell you that, but you should probably tell someone who isn't going that you're going somewhere and where you're going to be, because if something happens, they know where you were last and they can have some kind of indication of how to find you. If you don't live near your parents, if you're miles away at school, you know, it doesn't kill you to just let them know. And I know some of you are probably thinking, why would I tell my parents I'm going to a party? Well, I mean, I would rather have them know that than get in a bad situation and then have people not know how to find me or where I was last. I mean, that's just even simple to me. If you don't want to tell your parents that you're going to a party every time you go, because God knows how many times you go, and I'm not downing parties right now, I'm just giving you my perspective. Write a note somewhere that somebody would look for you, like your dorm, your car. Write a note and say like, was going here at this time on this day, bam, stick it somewhere so that someone could be like, okay, that's where we need to start. You can tell someone who's in your dorm on your hallway who's not going like, hey, we're going here, blah, 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 blah. You can take pictures on your phone, you can Instagram, because people can track all that stuff. You know, do a little social media blast like, yay, party here, this is where I was. You have to be safe with that one though too, because if your social media is like for the world to see, then you don't necessarily want to be telling people where you are. Just kind of like a, you know, one of those deals. There are guys at these parties who might not have your best interest at heart. 90% of the time they don't. It's just, they don't. I've been to parties and been hit on and I get annoyed. Even if I'm not dating someone, I'm annoyed. Because it's the way that they do it. So, you come here often? Just punch them in the face sometimes. And it's just like that small talk and then they get close to you and then you want to drink and it's just... There are like the classic guys who are going to give you drinks, try to like schmooze you and hopefully get something out of it. But if you have respect for yourself, and now granted, if you like the guy, you've been having your eye on him, whatever, he's a good guy, cool. Go for it. Talk to the dude. But if they're just some Joe Schmo who's just trying to get what he can, you know, you don't want to be stuck in those situations. And let's say your friend leaves or something and you need to get out of that situation. And, you know, you don't want to pull the, oh, you know, I have a boyfriend card, because it's pretty classic. You know, you can be honest with someone. If someone's really talking and saying, oh, let me get you a drink, let's go back, talk in this back room, let's, you know, whatever, you can just say, hey, listen, you know what? I gotta go. I'm not interested. You need to have a guy who has your back. And I know that's hard to find, but you know, if you have a guy friend who you know is just kind of that like guy who's always going to be there for you, tell him you're going so that he could like potentially, you know, have you. You could text him if you're in trouble. Maybe he's there. He'll have your back at the party, kind of a thing. It's just a good way, you know, to have people. It's good to have people who have your best interest at heart. There's nothing worse when you see friends, and I've seen this before, when the girls are trying to get their girlfriend completely wasted, they're tripping all over the place, they're throwing up, and they don't do anything, you know, to help them. They're encouraging that, and that baffles me, because again, the mom in me is like, I want to help that person. I don't want to make it worse. If they're truly your friends, they're not going to want to see you that way. And, you know, you can still have a good time without, you know, ruining the night. If you can't take care of yourself at the party, something's wrong. You need to have control over your intake, and you need to be able to still enjoy the night without ruining it by getting sick all the time. Another thing that my friends and I do, and I do this with my mom sometimes too when I'm in like an awkward situation. If you're at a party and someone's talking to you and you really want to get out of it, or you're uncomfortable or something's wrong, I have hand signals with people. So like an ear tug, or like going like that is like, you know, okay, come help me. Or, you know, sometimes it's like if a guy talks to me and I want to talk to them, you know, I'll go like this. And so it's without, you know, literally saying to somebody like, help me, like it just gives them an idea that it's talking, but it's not. Peer pressure. This is probably the most common form of like cause for mistakes, because you get caught up in the moment and you're like, go, 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 go. No, 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 no. You know? I don't know what I had this morning. Happy juice. You know, just because someone's telling you to drink or telling you to smoke or telling you to hook up with someone, you don't need to. I was always kind of the like different one. I didn't really follow social norms. I definitely had a different path, and I didn't want to be known as like a girl who got drunk all the time and got around, and I wanted to have a good reputation, and not for the namesake, but just for myself. Like I wanted to feel happy about myself. I didn't want to feel guilty about anything like that. And you know, in the long run, you know, people will say, oh, you're missing out, you're gonna like regret it. I don't at all. I'm happy to say that, like, you know, sure, I've had fun and, you know, had nights where, you know, I've gone out with my friends, but it doesn't mean that I have to go overboard and make it so that I get sick, or that, you know, I'm feeling embarrassed, or I'm not able to make good decisions for myself. And I'm happy that way. You know, girls can get insecure and they'll look for guys and they'll look for attention, and because a guy tells them that they're pretty that night, you know, that's just like a sign to just go and do whatever with that guy. You know, we weren't intended to work that way. That's not what love is, and that's a physical thing, and it's gonna last one night, and that guy is going to not remember, you know, who you are in a week. He might not even want to see you the next day. He might not even know your name before any of this happens. Look at your life down the road and think, you know, is that something that I'm gonna want to remember as a good thing? Probably not. Go into parties and those kind of social situations with intentions to be respectful to yourself. You're going to be a lot happier in life when you look back and you say, you know what, I didn't do that stuff, and I'm happy. I've had a great life. On a less sensitive note, etiquette at a party. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to an event, and it doesn't have to be a party at college. It could be a social event with your family. It could be something for work. There is definitely etiquette for how you should act. And, you know, if you're at a frat party, chances are there's going to be a lot of drunk people. If you're at a work event, chances are there might be some drunk people, but if your boss is watching, it's probably not your best interest. You never want to be singled out at an event because you're being ridiculous. If you're in someone else's house or workspace, you know, have respect. You don't want to be getting sick there or breaking something. I hosted senior week, you know, for high school, and, you know, I was in my house, and, you know, I want to take care of my house. So, you know, people need, and my friends were great. They did a really great job of being respectful. But, you know, a lot of those houses that get rented during senior week get destroyed, and it's like, I feel so bad for the owners because these people don't have respect for it. Etiquette, few simple rules. If you're drunk enough to where you're making people clean up after you, that's a no-no. If people have to tell you to like tone it down, then you're probably at a place that you shouldn't be doing that. To wrap up this video, what I want you guys to get out of this, because I know I was going off on like 10 million different tangents, is that it is okay to do your own thing. You don't have to be like everybody else. I have friends who I love dearly that get pretty crazy sometimes, and then they regret it. And then they always say, I wish I could just say no to that stuff. I don't even like the way I feel, the next day. And it's like, why do you repeat yourself? And a lot of it is just to fit in. And let me tell you, fitting in is not all it's cracked up to be. Like, fitting out is so much cooler and it's so much more rewarding. And if you're in a place right now where you're going out every night in college and it's affecting your sleep and your school, and try a week of just doing what you want to do, really, because I don't think most people really want to feel like crap every day and hungover. So treat yourself with respect and just take a break from it maybe, and fill your time doing something a little bit more like rewarding. Go rock climbing, that's fun actually. Like, people don't really go out and do those things anymore, and I think my group of friends now, the ones that I work out with a lot, you'll probably see pictures of me on Instagram with them. We go out and we have fun, and yeah, we'll go out to dinner and the bars and stuff, but we do CrossFit together, and it's a very fitness, centered hanging out. And not everybody's thing is fitness, but like, even like the movies, or like going to have like, I don't know, burgers, like do something else. Like, it doesn't have to be like house parties all the time. I don't want you to think I'm being judgmental of people who go out and party, because I'm not. I'm just saying that there is a way to do it and have fun and be respectful to yourself and other people versus being a nut all the time. I do care about my viewers, and I care about my friends, and everybody always says that I'm like the mom, and I want you guys to be able to share this kind of stuff with me, because it is a topic that is brought up a lot in today's society, and people try to hush it, oh, we don't party. Kids party. It's what they do. It happens. So if you can do it and be, cool with it and be respectful of the idea of it and not get yourself intoxicated so that you're hurting other people and yourself, then okay, but that's why I wanted to make this video, to just address that, there is a certain standard I feel like we think that we have to meet up to, and we don't. We can do our own thing, and that is what I want to inspire you guys to do. So that was my girl's guide.